there, fantasy football fanatics, and welcome to another episode of Fantasy Focus with the Three Frosted Mugs, a Fiat Entertainment Group production. I'm Rodney, and here with me as always is Chad.
Hello, Steven.
Hello, Chad. And we are missing another mug again this week. We hope to have him back again next week to my right and your left. Matt is also here with us today.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Matt. Running
Hello,
our
Matthew.
equipment, making sure we stay on task.
Hashtag not really.
Did you just hashtag me?
I think
Pound sign.
I'm offended. Don't you hashtag me on this show. All right.
he's under 30. He can do the hashtag.
Oh, that's true. I can't.
Coming from me, no. Well, you're under 30.
Well, I'm almost 30, though. I'm at the cusp, you know?
Yeah.
I'm somewhere stuck in between where people above me don't remember Salute Your Shorts and people below me don't remember Salute Your Shorts. It was a great show on Nickelodeon. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. But before we get started, let's congratulate the winner of this week's Pick 3 Plus. That would be the Sweat Hogs.
Way to go, Sweat Hogs.
I wish I had the sound to make a little, like a woo or something. I don't know.
We need a button.
We need a button.
When am I getting my button?
Someone get us a button in here. Congratulations, the Sweat Hogs, on your win this week. You will be receiving an awesome Three Frosted Mugs mug as your prize.
Fill it up with something good.
And don't forget to enter in your picks at www.threefrostedmugs.com to enter the Pick 3 Plus for your chance to win weekly prizes and compete for the grand prize at the end of the season.
Yeah, a tablet. Good prize. For free. So
I think that's the first time it's been said what that prize was. I feel like a big surprise has just been let loose.
was that a surprise?
Is it a surprise?
I thought it was on there.
Does it say it on there?
The mug being the prize?
No, the grand
prize.
Oh, no, that's on there.
Oh, okay, good. Phew.
Yeah, had me scared for a second. Yeah,
Man.
Samsung tablet. What is it?
It is Samsung,
Yeah,
I believe.
Samsung tablet.
Well,
yeah.
now I've just admitted that I can't read, so
And you have no idea what's going on.
I have no clue. All right, well, so go to the website and enter in your picks for the chance at that prize. All right, well, let's get right into it then. I had a banner fantasy football weekend. I've completely given up on my Yahoo League, 100%. But my main league that I'm in, the big one,
The real-time sports league.
I'm 4-0. 4-0.
Your team's pretty stout. Everybody went off this week. I think you had the highest scoring team by like 50 points.
Yeah, it was 222 points. That's my highest for the season, but I've been over 200, I think, 2 out of 3 times now.
And it's funny because the guy you beat had like the third highest amount of points for the league. I'm not going to say any names, Anthony Bowie, but he's just had some bad luck, but I love it.
He did. He got demolished. I was a little nervous Jamal Charles was going to score like 80 points because it just looked like they were feeding him the entire time. Any goal line opportunities, it was being handed off to Jamal Charles. I'm pretty sure he caught an 8-yard pass for a touchdown as well.
I think so. I was asleep.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I
yeah.
woke up and saw it this morning.
That's right. You got up at 3 and watched the game, I guess.
12:30 a.m.
Oh, jeez.
I think the game was just ending when I was looking
You
at
caught the
score.
tail end of the game.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into the top performers from this past week. We got a few surprising ones, one of which Chad really doesn't like, but he shows respect where respect is due.
Yeah, yep. Quarterbacks, the top performers, Eli Manning. Eli, I'm kind of sorry I bashed you so much. You're shutting me up, and I hate to see that because you're in the NFC East, so I really hate to see that you're playing well, but good for you, picking up the offense, a little scary for everybody else in the East if y'all get things going. Andrew Luck had a good week, and Aaron Rodgers. Those are your top 3 quarterbacks for this week, I guess, last week.
Aaron Rodgers did have a heck of a week.
Yeah.
I have him on that team that's stout.
Yes, you do.
All right, running backs. As I mentioned, Jamal Charles being one. I'm sure there were a lot of Jamal Charles owners who were extremely happy by his performance this week.
Yeah, he did real well. Matt Asiata had a good game against the Falcons, which I had Minnesota winning that ball game outright.
You did?
And DeMarco Murray has continued to play well. I mean, Dallas is obviously, really showing that they're going to stick to the run. Good for DeMarco Murray. He's having a great year. So those are your 3 top running backs.
Really taking advantage of that offensive line. I mean, being able to block for him. And
That offensive line is doing work right now. I don't want to say anything and jinx it, but they're going to work right now on defensive lines and linebackers. They're killing it.
It is really surprising. I'm just going to say everything that people thought that were going to be the downsides of Dallas are actually more the upsides, and they're really working their strengths. I think I'm going to give them credit where credit's due.
They're tough.
All right, let's move into wide receivers. Mr. Steve Smith Sr., I just want to mention him because he was on your sleepers for last week, I believe.
Yeah, had Steve Smith. He had a big week. He had circled that game for ever since he got signed by, by a little
Baltimore.
brain fart, Baltimore. Yeah, and then once they saw their schedule, he had circled that game. Jordy Nelson had a big game. Also, they had another receiver that was up there too. I think 4th or 5th in points, and Randall Cobb and Antonio Brown had a big week, which I think had as well on our top performers.
I believe you did. All right, moving into tight ends. Larry Donnell, I think people were kind of waiting for him to go off. They'd been mentioning that he was in the sight of Eli Manning. He was kind of going to be his go-to guy.
Yep, Larry Donnell caught a couple touchdown passes. I think 3. Heath Miller had a good week. Caught a couple of touchdown passes from Ben Roethlisberger, and Martellus Bennett, big week. He's been steady all year. He's top, and also one of my sleeper tight ends, Kelsey, had a big week.
Oh yeah, he did. And just Martellus Bennett, I think, would have had another touchdown, but was stopped at the 1 yard line. I can't remember the play.
I think it was the last play to end the first half.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was very, very close. I thought it was a dumb throw anyway because of what did happen. They didn't get any points on the board, so that kind of stunned a decent little drive to put points on the board. But we'll talk about that later.
You can check out our football recaps and our regular show, The Three Frosted Mugs, which will be released around the same time as this one.
That's correct.
All right. Disappointing starting performances. We got a few on the quarterback side here, but I just want to bring up Kirk Cousins for just 1 second because this should have happened this coming week against the Seahawks, not against the Giants. Completely shocking, and in the same frame, not that shocking. So I don't know what to say else about that.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things. I'm not going to call him a rookie. He's not a rookie, but when you look at the number of games he started, it's not a lot. It's still basically would be considered his rookie seasons. All great quarterbacks throw a lot of interceptions. Look at Peyton Manning. He threw a ton of interceptions. His first 16 games. Andrew Luck threw a lot. So you're gonna have those games when you're a passer. You're a guy that likes to pass and not scared to move the ball downfield. These things are gonna happen. I wouldn't look too far, too much into it.
Okay. Well, a couple others.
Tom Brady. Yeah, I didn't see it, but just looking at the stats, Tom Brady, terrible game, and Nick Foles. They didn't really get anything going. They didn't have to have the ball. They scored, return touchdowns, defensive touchdowns, so they didn't really have the ball the first half, so we never really could get in a groove. Finally got a little something going. I guess one of the last drives that they had 3rd and goal from the 2 and decided to throw it twice. I don't understand that, but anyway, Nick Foles did not have a good fantasy game.
Yeah, there appeared to, and I'm not an NFL head coach. Not an NFL head coach. But there appeared to be, I know, right? You would think.
That's the whole reason we hired
I have the same physique. But, I was a little surprised by some of the play calls of Chip Kelly. I don't know what he was thinking.
He's Chip Kelly. He can do what he wants.
That's true. He does do what he wants. He goes where he wants, leaves when he wants. Doesn't matter. All right, some disappointing running back performances also on the Eagles.
Sean McCoy, again, I think he had under 30 yards rushing, 2nd week in a row. Terrible performance. I don't think he caught a pass. That's not like them. Usually the Eagles run a lot of screens. They really couldn't get anything going. Rashad Jennings, kind of disappointing, and Arian Foster. Now, here's a little nugget. Arian Foster and Andre Johnson have combined 1 touchdown this year. J.J. Watt has 2.
Hey, he's worth every penny, right?
Yeah, and beyond.
Maybe he should just go both ways. Maybe they should put him on offense. Bring back the Iron Man player.
They don't need to. He's got 2 touchdowns playing defense.
That's true. That's true. I'm just saying, imagine him as a fullback. That's all I'm saying.
They're tight end. Ridiculous.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. We went over running backs, wide receivers.
Deshaun Jackson, not a good game. Julian Edelman again, I didn't really see much of what happened in that game, so I couldn't really tell. I don't know. I guess obviously Kansas City played good defense, and Brandon Marshall, not a good fantasy game. He must still be hobbled up a little bit, so he obviously he's not 100%. Alshon Jeffrey had a pretty decent game. I think he's getting better, probably in a little bit better condition right now, a little bit better shape or health-wise than Brandon Marshall.
Well, I will just say as far as Julian Edelman, I saw who was covering him, and it's probably one of the biggest cornerbacks I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, it was like a giant. I mean, again, it was Julian Edelman, who's like, what, 5'8", if that?
Not a big guy.
Yeah, not at all. So I have a lot of respect for you little guys out there who can keep it together, because I would be terrified. And I got a good like $150 on Julian Edelman, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Guy was a massive man. All right, let's see. We're moving into the tight ends.
Greg Olsen, bad performance. I had him, thought he was going to be a top performer. I think he's going to bounce back this week. And Vernon Davis didn't really do much. I know he got hurt. Looked like he took a knee to the back. Haven't seen any updates on what's going on with him, but not a good game from fantasy perspective.
I mean, he was hurt the week before last as well. Is that right?
Yeah, I think he missed a game or two.
He's getting up there in age.
Kind of hobbled around, hobbling up.
All right, well, you know what? Let's look forward. Let's move forward. What do you got as far as your top picks for this coming week? Let's start with some quarterbacks.
Quarterbacks, top performers. Matt Stafford is one of my guys I have in top performers. They are playing at home against the Bills. I think this defense is the Bills are benching E.J. Manuel, don't get it, and starting Kyle Orton. Terrible move. The Lions defense are going to get all over him. The Lions are just going to have a field day on the Buffalo Bills. Matt Stafford is going to be a big part of that. Nick Foles, bounce back week. They're playing at home after the offense putting up 0 points last week. They're coming back home. They're going to put up a lot of points. It's going to be a lot through the air. Nick Foles is going to have a huge game. And Cam Newton. Cam did not have a very stellar game. It looked like he was hurt a little bit. I think Derek Anderson came in, but healthy or not, this is a game you don't want to fall too far behind. I know there's a lot of teams that are 2-2. Cam Newton's going to come out. Bears defense, Aaron Rodgers torched them. I think Cameron Newton's going to have a good game against them. I tried to call him Cameron. And my sleepers, Colin Kaepernick. They ran the ball. I don't know what offense is going to show up for the 49ers. Now, I like that they ran the ball, and I said they were going to run the ball a lot. They were, after Frank Gore had just 6 carries the previous week, I think he had 20-plus this week. So you kind of saw that coming. I think they're getting in a groove. I think the Chiefs are clicking a little bit too, so I think that Colin Kaepernick's going to do a little damage to the air. But I think they're going to keep running the ball good. I think Kaepernick's going to have a good game through the air. And a deep sleeper I have is Brian Hoyer.
Okay.
Going on the road into Tennessee. I think it's going to be a good football game. I think Brian Hoyer's going to come out. I think he's going to have, maybe not a humongous game, but I think he'll have 2 touchdowns, no picks. I think it'll be a good all-around game.
I'm interested to see how that game goes, especially Tennessee has their backup quarterback going as well. And
they look
Whitehurst.
Decent. Of course, they run into a buzzsaw in Indianapolis, but he's not a bad quarterback.
Andrew the Buzzsaw Luck. All right, give me your top running backs.
Top running backs, Rashad Jennings. They're playing at home against the Falcons. Falcons got torched Sunday against Minnesota. Asiata and the other young guy they have, Jerick McKenna, just ran all over them. I look for the Giants again, like I said, to get back on they're going to run the ball, open things up for Eli, and we saw what happened on Thursday night when they do that. So I look for Rashad Jennings to run the ball real well. I'm going to go back to Frank Gore. Again, I think this is going to be a lot of points scored in this 49ers-Chiefs game. I think they're going to run the ball. I think there's going to be some good things coming out of the 49ers. If they keep running the ball, it'll open things up for Cap, and then obviously Frank Gore is going to get the bulk of the carries there. And this guy, typically I wouldn't even put him on this list because he's a guaranteed every week starter. But I am going to say LaShawn McCoy. He's had under 30 yards and probably under 25 yards the last 2 games. I think they're coming back home. This is a bounce back. I think he's going to catch a lot of balls out of the backfield. I think he had, 0 catches Sunday. I think it's going to be a big week for LaShawn McCoy.
Okay. Your two sleepers?
Two sleepers. This guy's I'm gonna put him on the sleeper is Reggie Bush. Again, I think the Lions are gonna trounce the Bills. I think Reggie Bush is gonna have a real good game. He's gonna do a lot out of the backfield. And Andre Ellington, not so much a sleeper, but he hadn't really had a huge game this year. He's been a little hobbled with a foot injury, but I think they're gonna have to score a lot of points as far as going into Denver. Denver coming off a bye week. Of course, Arizona coming off a bye week as well. But I think Ellington's going to do a lot of things in the passing game as well this week.
Okay. All right, let's move into wide receivers. Your top 3 wide receivers for this coming week.
All right. Again, 2 of these guys I'm going to put on here typically are every week starters, but I'm going to put them on here because of either injuries or they haven't been doing so well.
Yeah, their past performance is not up to par.
Exactly. I'm going to put Demaryius Thomas.
Okay.
They're coming off a bye week, and I know there's Patrick Peterson, one of the best corners in the league, playing for Arizona. I think Demaryius Thomas is going to have a big week. Brandon Marshall, I think he's getting healthier. Had a bad week last week. They're going into Carolina. I think I have Cam Newton having a good week, so I think that there's going to be some points scored in this game. Obviously, if the Bears defense played like it did against Green Bay, they're going to have to. But I like Brandon Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy is one of my favorites. I like Percy Harvin. I think Monday night game, I really like Russell Wilson as well. Didn't put him on there because I think he's, as far as top quarterbacks, I think he's an every week starter. But I like Russell Wilson a lot this week, and I think Percy Harvin is going to really torch this banged-up Redskins defense.
Right.
Sorry to say that.
Hey, I mean,
but I think
it wouldn't be so bad if what happened didn't happen last week.
I know, but I think Percy Harvin's gonna do some good things there.
Okay. All right, and are your sleepers?
Sleepers. Anquan Bolden. Again, the recurring theme must be is I like the 49ers, this week as far as to score a lot of points. Like Anquan Bolden to come out and have a big game. And this guy's not so much a sleeper, but I think this week I really like this team to bounce back is the Saints. Buccaneers coming off a huge win. Might be kind of a letdown after that. Not a great football team. A big win like that could kind of drain them. Or I could be wrong. It could send them in the right direction. But the Saints are 1-3, are in a must-win. They're playing at home where they play best. I think the Saints are going to score a ton of points. Marquez Colston is going to have a big game.
For different reasons, I hope you're absolutely right about that. All right, moving into tight ends.
Tight ends. This guy I'm going to put in here is an every week starter from here on out. Delaney Walker. Again, you can't sit him. Proof's in the pudding. Numbers don't lie. Travis Kelce, had him last week as my sleeper.
You did.
Moving him up to a top performer this week.
He went off.
So, again, reoccurring theme, that Chiefs-Niners game. I look for a lot of points. I like Kelce there. And, this guy is coming a must-start, too, is Larry Donnell, Larry Donnell, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He's
it don't matter what your name is. You're a fantasy stud.
Catch 3 touchdowns in one game, you can call yourself whatever. But like Larry Donnell.
Okay. All right. Sleepers.
Sleepers. This guy's got to be considered a sleeper. Hadn't done much this year. I think this was a week where he comes out, probably has about 6 or 7 catches, 1, maybe 2 touchdowns. He's been doing a lot in the blocking game. I think it's time to go ahead and get him a good look, get him a touchdown. Jason Witten. I'd like for him to have a good fantasy week. And Owen Daniels, tight end out of Baltimore. I think he's going to have a good week. They're going into at Indianapolis. I think there's going to be a lot of points put up there. I think he's going to be a part of it.
Okay. Yeah, and Jason Witten, although wasn't playing him, not on my team, he still scored me 6 points because he made that awesome block for DeMarco to run it right in. Loved it.
He's been doing well in the blocking game, so it's time to give him a reward.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Let's see. Moving into defense, give me your top defense and your sleeper defense play.
Lions are just going to destroy the Bills. I'm going to kill the Bills here. Terrible move by putting in Kyle Orton. Lions going to jump all over them. And then I like Dallas against Dink and Dunk Fitzpatrick at home. This defense is pumped up. This team's playing well. I like it. Obviously, I don't like Dink and Dunk Fitzpatrick.
You're definitely making me second guess my my death pool pick. Just to let you know.
Which one was that again?
You keep talking about the Lions, and they were in my mind to do that. I didn't pick them, but I mean, there's still a time to do that.
Yeah, they'll break your heart in a second too.
Yes, that's the thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe the Saints are that for me this year. Who knows? All right. Well, I believe that's it for our Fantasy Focus episode this week. Of course, if you have any questions on who to start or to sit on your fantasy team, please feel free to post them on our Facebook page, or you can tweet us at 3 Frosted Mugs. That's frosted with no vowels, FRSTD. With the Mugs will be very happy to answer your questions. And of course, the games don't start till Thursday, so you got plenty of time to get those questions in. We'll respond to you. We work other than just on this show. And don't forget to play Pick 3 Plus. You can go to www.3frostedmugs.com to play for weekly prizes and a grand prize at the end of the season. It's a tablet. Did
you just give that away?
I give it away. Thank you. Tune in next time for Fantasy Focus with the 3 Frosted Mugs. Thank you to AJ Studios for the post-production and graphics work. Matt, thank you for working on the show. Appreciate it. Until next time, trust your gut and never tinker.